other characters in the past where people have questioned, like for instance, if you might want to jog your memory, like in Kank, right? A lot of people did not understand what are the problem in that relationship. You seem to be a perfectly fine guy. She seemed to be a perfectly fine girl. You guys seem to be perfectly fine together. What was wrong with you that she had to?
So this is one of the questions I asked Karan.
Okay.
And he said, that's why I'm making the film. I want to show the perfect husband. Rishi is the perfect husband. He's madly in love with Maya. He's a great guy. He's fun. He's successful. He's independent, everything. She just doesn't love him. He says, you know, a lot of times in life, we are in a relationship where you realize that, okay, the formalcy is there, but she's just not in love with him. She's always been like a friend to him. And she didn't have any other choice, so she's like, okay, let's get married. But that was the thing. And I said, but why? He said, there's no why. That's just the way
complex,
it is.
Right?
Yeah, that's just the way it is. Which is similar to Man Marzia, where there was a scene which actually got edited, where my mother asks me that, why do you love Rumi? What do you see in her? And he says, why do I need to see something in her? I just love her. It's an emotion. How can I quantify an emotion? Why do I need to justify an emotion? And why do I need to tell you why I love this girl? You know, which I thought was such a nice message to give, especially today's generation. Why does somebody else get to sit on judgment for what you feel? Nobody else should have that power over you to tell you that the person you love is right or wrong. And I like that. So, you know, in terms of Kank, it was just, sadly, you know, she likes him. She just doesn't love him.
Right.
Abhishek, hi. This is Priyanka. Towards your left.
Hi.
This is Priyanka from Indian Express. Abhishek, just wanted to know your reaction to the controversy around Man Marzia, the 3 scenes that the Sikh community had a problem with. And makers went ahead and requested CBFC to delete those scenes. And apparently, Anurag was also not informed about the decision. So as an actor who's part of the film, how do you react to that?
I think each individual is allowed to react the way they have and they want to. It's their personal opinion. For me, it's not a big deal because, see, what is your film about? My film isn't about anybody smoking. I have no problem cutting that out. If somebody's taken objection to it and they are feeling that the intention of the film or the makers is not to upset anybody, not to upset any community. We're not here to ruffle any feathers. We just want to make a nice love story. That's what the film is about. If by cutting out 1 or 2 shots, it's going to placate somebody and make them feel better, I have no problems doing that. And I say this very sincerely. I really don't have an issue with it. Everybody's allowed to react the way they want. It's a free country. But for me, look, if me cutting out 3 shots which is not impacting my narrative makes you happy, by all means. Because my intention isn't to upset you. My intention isn't to start a controversy. And my intention is not to upset you. It's as simple as that. I'm very clear of these things. And that's it. It's been removed and it's fine.
Does it not set a wrong precedent though? Because if any group is going to have any issue with any scene and that CBFC's passed the film.
It depends what the issue is, Mayank. All right? How do I give you a good example? Okay. My view is very different. I'm looking at its entirety. Ask yourself 2 questions. Why and who is objecting? What is the purpose behind that objection? If that is genuine, then you should look upon it genuinely. Because as somebody who's part of a film, as a filmmaker, you make movies for an audience. So if your audience, even if one member has an issue with something, you need to first ascertain, is that a genuine issue? If it is genuine, you need to address it. I'm making a movie for them, not for myself. And if they have a problem, then I need to understand why. If I'm convinced with that, the next thing you need to ask yourself is, who's the loser here? Who stands to lose? In a situation like we are in right now, I'll tell you who stands to lose. The exhibitor stands to lose. I, as an actor, have done my job. I've been paid. The producer has sold his film to a studio. The studio has there on end sold the film to a distributor who has then sold it to an exhibitor. If there is, for example, an objection or a protest, there's going to be a cinema hall that's going to be vandalized. There are going to be shows of an exhibitor that are going to be cancelled. That person is going to lose money. You want to stand today and say, okay, how can you do this? This is a bad precedent. Please underwrite all the losses that the people down the chain are going to face. I'll stand by you. You have to, that's my industry as well. I've got to think about them. And like I said, what is the issue? You have an objection to 1 or 2 shots. Is that going to change your story? No. Take it out. It's fine. Yes, if it's something that's changing the narrative or the reason why I made that film, then I can sit and debate that and
So
try
you're
and
saying
counter
you won't
that.
take the same position on Udta Punjab, for instance?
No. I understand why they would want to say what they wanted to say in Udta Punjab. This is just 3 very basic shots. It's not a big deal. Why is that worth more than what my exhibitor, which is part of my family, extended family, is going to have to face losses for? No, it's not. I'm not going to sit on that ego. I feel very strongly about these things. This is my industry as well.
Sure. I mean, we could
So
debate
like I said,
this
the
forever.
first thing you have to ask is, what is the reason why they've taken objection? All right? They've objected to 1 or 2 small shots. If you remove that, it's not going to change your film. It's not. Also, you have to understand that this is an issue that has happened. If it happened before the release, it's something I can understand. We can sit down and debate it and discuss it. This has happened after the release. Get on with it. Your film is not changing. If it's something that's going to change my film, then I have the right as a democratic citizen of this country to debate with you and to reason with you as to why you feel the way you do and I feel the way I do. And it's my job then to convince you. Something as small and trivial as this, I think it's absolutely fine.
Sure. Next question.
Say something about Yuva.
Do you get that a lot? Because that might well be your finest performance. I mean,
Yuva
Lalan Singh.
was well, thank you, but Yuva I turned a corner in my career with Yuva. Yuva was the first film where I actually got positive reviews. So for the first time, it was relieving for me because I just felt, okay, I can do it. The
I mean, you cracked
industry.
it. I mean, it's a fantastic.
Thank you. The industry, the audience, the critiques, they kind of gave me a thumbs up for the first time. So for me, it's always been a very important film in my journey as an actor. So yeah, I mean, it's a film that I really enjoyed doing with a maker that I love,
Right.
Mani Ratnam, and I'm glad because it's been.
Was it hard for you to get it right? Like playing a Bihari laborer, as it were?
No, I worked very hard on it.
Okay.
I worked very hard with Anurag on it, actually.
Right.
Anurag wrote the dialogues, and I remember I was shooting for Run in Mumbai and in Chennai. So when I used to shoot in Mumbai, Anurag used to spend days on end in my trailer, and in between shots, I used to rehearse with Anurag about Lalan's walk, the way he'd talk and stuff like that. And then when I was shooting in Chennai for Run, I used to sit with Mani and do it. So we worked very hard on it. So we had really broken down Lalan Singh
Right.
to the minutest detail, yeah.